When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Microsoft Azure. Turn your ideas into reality with an Azure free account. Get everything you need to develop apps across cloud and hybrid environments, scale workloads, create cloud-connected mobile experiences, and so much more. Discover what you can create with popular services free for 12 months. Learn more at azure.com. That's AZURE.com. And sign up for a free account to start building in the cloud today.
Welcome to the Two-Footed Extra Pod. This is our quick hit show where I'll unpack the latest news and gossip, plus rumours in the world of football. This show was brought to you by our friends over at Liberty Shield. Did you know that Liberty Shield's VPN service not only keeps your data safe, but can also help you bypass government blocks on IPTV streaming? When connected to Liberty Shield, your internet activity is encrypted, meaning your ISP can't see or block those crucial live football streams when you sit down to watch. It genuinely is the ultimate solution for staying connected and never missing a match. Right now, you can save 25% by using the code EPL25OFF. That's EPL25OFF at checkout. All caps, no spaces. Oh, and one more thing. For more in-depth analysis on the biggest talking points from around the world of football, don't miss my main show, the Two-Footed Podcast, with new episodes dropping every single weekday. And if you want more from EPL Index, don't forget our Tad Predictable preview show or the Final Whistle review show recorded immediately after the big Sunday match. Now, let's crack on. What's good, boys and girls? Two-Footed Extra on Monday, the 30th of September. As I won't be here tomorrow, potentially not Wednesday, and definitely not Thursday. Definitely not tomorrow or Thursday. Wednesday's up in the air. Thought we'd quickly go through what football's on offer as options for you this week. So on Tuesday and Wednesday, we've got a full round of championship games. We get Burnley, Plymouth, Cardiff, Millwall, Coventry, Blackburn, Hull, QPR Hull, Norwich, Leeds, which should be good, Sunderland, Derby, Luton, Oxford, and West Brom, Middlesbrough. That's tomorrow night's games. They're all 7:45, except West Brom, Middlesbrough, which is an 8 p.m. Then on Wednesday, there is Stoke, Portsmouth, Sheffield United, Swansea, Preston, Watford, and Bristol City, Sheffield Wednesday. Bristol City, Sheffield Wednesday is the 8 p.m. The rest are 7:45. In League One, again, split across 2 nights. Actually, all the League One games are on Tuesday night. Barnsley, Wickham, Cambridge, Rotherham, Blackpool, Lincoln, Shrewsbury, Stockport, Bristol Rovers, Charlton, Stevenage, Wrexham, Northampton, Bolton, Leyton Orient, Exeter, Birmingham, Huddersfield, Wigan, Peterborough, Crawley, Mansfield, and Reading against Burton. Burton is the 8 p.m. All the rest are 7:45s. And then in League Two, and again, these are all tomorrow night, and these are all 7:45 kickoffs. It's Morecambe, Bradford, Harrogate, MK Dons, Cheltenham, Accrington Stanley, Tranmere, Swindon, Port Vale, Colchester, Newport, Salford, Gillingham, Grimsby, Bromley, Chesterfield, Carlisle, Notts County, Walsall, Fleetwood, and Doncaster versus Barrow. So that's what we have on offer in the EFL leagues this week. We have European games, obviously. In the Champions League, which we have games tomorrow and Wednesday. No Thursday night woke nonsense, thankfully enough. Tomorrow night, we get Salzburg against Brest, Stuttgart against Sparta Prague. They're the 5:45s. The 8 p.m. games, Dortmund Celtic, PSV Sporting, Slovan Bratislava Man City, Barcelona Young Boys, Leverkusen Milan, Inter against Red Star, Arsenal against PSG, which is the game of the night. And then on Wednesday, Shakhtar Atalanta and Girona Feyenoord are the early games. The late games then are Benfica Atletico Madrid, which should be a good one, Liverpool Bologna, Leipzig Juve, which should be decent, Lille Real, Sturm Graz Club Brugge, Dinamo Zagreb Monaco, and then the game of the night is Villa at home to Bayern Munich in a repeat of the 1982 European Cup final. That one should be a decent game, so I reckon that's the one to watch if you're not a Liverpool fan. We don't have any Europa League this week because they had their sort of feature week last week, and we don't have any Conference League. Oh no, excuse me. Am I wrong about that? We do have Conference League. Do we have Europa League? Do we have Europa League this week? We do have Europa League this week. Why did I think we didn't? Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of these because there's just loads of them, but the games to maybe watch: Real Sociedad Anderlecht, Lazio Nice, Ferencváros Spurs, Porto against United, potentially big ramifications in that one for Erik ten Hag, Rangers Lyon, Besiktas Eintracht Frankfurt, and Twente Fenerbahce. I think they're all very watchable games. In the Conference League, we've got 2 games on Wednesday, both 3:30 kickoffs. You're looking for a nice afternoon game. Istanbul Besiktas versus Rapid Vienna, 3:30 kickoff on Wednesday. Not too bad. In the late games then, in the 5:45 games, can I interest you in Dynamo Minsk against Hearts? I don't think I can. I can't even interest myself in that. In the late games, Shamrock Rovers against Apoel, Chelsea against Ghent, and Fiorentina against the New Saints, which is just a tremendous game, tremendous name altogether. Right. Anyway, on to the news then. So obviously at the weekend we had the horrible news that a West Brom fan passed away at Hillsborough during the Sheffield Wednesday West Brom game. Very, very sad moment. There's a lot of talk now about whether the game should have been stopped. My belief is that it should have been stopped, that the game should not have continued. The gentleman who passed away has been named as Mark Townsend, and there's no details yet on what happened other than the fact that it was a medical emergency. Off the back of it, we have a gentleman who has been arrested for tweets posted on social media mocking the gentleman's death, celebrating the fact that now makes 98 people who've died as a result of incidents on the Lippings Lane end. Obviously the 97 Liverpool fans in 1989, and now this gentleman has passed away. That man has been arrested, and I saw those tweets, and I think they're absolutely vile in nature. And I'm thrilled that this man has been arrested, and I hope that his life becomes very, very unpleasant over the next few months. The man's name is Richard Crisp. He is a 55-year-old project manager at Waits Construction Group. He lives and works in Sheffield, and he has 2 children. He's married with 2 children. And he tweeted out, another one to add to the Leppings Lane tally. What are we at now? 98? When we get to 100, we'll have a party up the Owls. Vile. Absolutely vile. I hope his life is miserable for months. And I'm not doxing him because his information has already been put out on social media and his name has been released. So I'm not doxing him at all. And if I am, tough. awful. Nobody should ever go to a football game and not come home. And thoughts are with the family of Mr. Townsend at this time, because that is unthinkable that somebody would go to football and their family would have to get a phone call to inform them that they weren't coming home. And the brother of the gentleman who passed away has given a statement, and it is heartbreaking to say the least. Let's move on. Ravel Morrison has signed for Precision FC, who play in the 3rd division in the United Arab Emirates. I mean, I understand that, you know, his career hasn't worked out, but surely he could do better than that. They've also signed Harry Arthur and Ben Pringle, who used to play for Ipswich and Rotherham. So obviously there's a bit of money in the club, and they've got some ambition. Last season they were promoted in what was their first season as a club, and they were promoted from the 4th division into the 3rd division. So they're obviously a club that feels like they're on the up. Morrison hasn't played in quite a while. He last played at DC United when Wayne Rooney was manager. He is only 31, but he hasn't kicked the ball in quite a while. So I hope this goes well for him. I really do. I've got a soft spot for Ravel Morrison. Andy Carroll says he wants to play until he's 40. Well, I mean, I can kind of see why. He missed so much time when he was injured in his 20s that I suppose he probably feels like he's got lost time to make up for. So it kind of is understandable that he might want to play more. Like, Andy Carroll is now 35 years of age, okay? In his club career, he's played 439 games and 9 times for England. So 448, which is, you know, it's not nothing. It's not nothing. But if you look at a lot of the seasons he had kind of in his 20s and that, you're looking at 14 games, 19 games, 26 games, league just games, 26 games, 15, 14, 27, 18, 16, 12, 19, 18, 8, 15. Like, he missed a ton of games. Like, that 15, that's in the Championship. He missed 31 games that year. That's a lot of games to be missing. So it's understandable that he wants to play on, and it's great to see him playing for Bordeaux. He's clearly not going to be earning big money because they've just been relegated because of the financial mess, but he's doing it for the love of the game, and I think that's admirable. Ethan Ampadu is out until at least January, having sustained a knee ligament injury in Leeds' 3-0 win over Coventry at the weekend. That's a huge blow for him, huge blow for Leeds, and a blow for Wales as well. Antoine Griezmann has decided to retire from international football. I always find it weird when players retire sort of at this point. Like, why not retire immediately after the international tournament in the summer? Why wait this long? 137 caps for France, 44 goals, obviously won a World Cup, also won a Nations League, but nobody really cares about that. Manchester United are expected to stick with Erik ten Hag as manager. We'll see how they feel in a week. They've got Porto away and then they play Villa. We'll see how they feel in a week. Alexandra Popp, the German legend, has decided to retire from international football as well. She made 144 appearances for Germany and scored 67 goals. She will get her 145th cap against Australia in October, and that will be her final game. She's not going to play, by the looks of things, in the game against England at Wembley. What else do we have here? That is basically it. We'll be back after the break with the gossip.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. so you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right, welcome back. So, on to the gossip. We've got 2 days to catch up on. So we'll have a look through what is what and who's spoofing. Chelsea and West Ham are among the clubs keeping an eye on John Duran. That's just a regurgitation of summer rumours when both clubs were linked with the player. This is not journalism. This is not reporting. This is spoofing. This is clickbait. And you would expect little more from Give Me Sport. Nottingham Forest would reluctantly sell Murillo if they receive a big fee, for the 22-year-old who's been linked with Barcelona and Real Madrid. Yeah, I mean, look, they sold him on the club as a stepping stone to a bigger club, a launch pad for Europe, so that they've known since they got him that if it worked out, he was going to be sold for a good fee. Jamal Musiala, whose contract runs out in 2026, says he is open to everything but very happy where he is, amid suggestions he might one day play in the Premier League. My guess is he re-ups his contract, but maybe comes to the Premier League when he's 26, 27. Alex Baena of Villarreal has caught the attention of Aston Villa and Newcastle so far this season. He's a very good player. Bayern Munich's Chiefs believe they signed a £100 million star for half price when they beat Manchester United to Michael Olise. That is absolutely correct. They absolutely did that. That is a sensational footballer. Southampton could turn to Graham Potter if they decide to sack Russell Martin. Yeah, I could see it. Don't know if he'd be interested, but I could see them wanting him. Newcastle are willing to let Callum Wilson leave on a free if they can find a replacement for him in January. That doesn't really make any sense, but again, it is Give Me Sport. Yusuf Yaziki is set to sign a 3-year contract with Greek side Olympiacos after leaving Lille in the summer. He's a good player, still only 27. Turkish international. Yeah, I think that's a good move for Olympiacos. And then finally, Eberechi Eze is at peace with his position at Crystal Palace, who were surprised not to receive more interest. The reason you didn't get any more interest is because you were asking for £80 million. Simple as that, really. You were asking for £80 million when clubs came knocking in the last few days of the window. That's why there was no interest. Manchester City are considering a move for Martin Zubimendi in the January transfer window. I doubt it. Bayern Munich are following developments about Alisson Becker, who's been linked to the move to Saudi Arabia. I don't think Ali will want to go to Saudi Arabia. I could definitely see him going to Bayern, and I think he would make a ton of sense for them as a replacement for Manuel Neuer. Even Newcastle could challenge Inter Milan and Juventus for the signing of Jonathan David, who's also been linked with signing a new contract. Liverpool are among several Premier League clubs monitoring the situation of Spanish winger Juanlu Sanchez of Sevilla. He's a good player. He's a decent player. Man City have been told they will have to pay at least $70 million to sign Nicolo Barea. I don't even think that he'd get you in the door. He also doesn't make a ton of sense for City. Chelsea will encourage January bids for Ben Chilwell. No one wanted him in the summer. He's on huge money. He's injury prone. I think they might be stuck with him unless they're willing to let him go on loan. Liverpool are unconcerned by new claims Egyptian forward Mohamed Salah has already agreed to join a Saudi Arabian club when his contract expires next summer. Because most of it is spoofing, so they don't really pay attention to it. Manchester United are considering signing Sunderland's English goalkeeper Anthony Patterson to be an understudy to Andre Onana. He's a talented young keeper. To be fair, it could make sense for them. But they've got a decent backup keeper there, so I'm not really sure. Manchester United are considering Max Allegri as a potential replacement for Eric Ten Hag. I mean, if they want to bring terrorism ball to the Premier League, then so be it. It's already there with Arteta, so it would make sense to try and kind of copy some of that, because Arteta copied some of Allegri's defensive setup. Barcelona have been given permission by La Liga to sign Wojciech Szczesny as a replacement for Marc-Andre ter Stegen. So obviously with their financial position, they couldn't just sign him, even though he was on a free. They had to get permission to do so. Juventus have joined Barcelona and a number of Premier League clubs in wanting Nico Williams. I think most clubs will want Nico Williams. Former Newcastle owners Amanda Staveley and Mehrdad Ghodossi are in advanced talks to buy a stake in Tottenham. I could see that. She definitely wants to be a part owner of the Premier League club. And I think she's always wanted to own a club in London. I think that just suits her better, just location-wise. So, yeah, I could see that for certain. Right, folks, that's going to be me for today. I will definitely see you Friday. I might see you Wednesday, but don't hold your breath. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.